I know what you're all thinking. What's my Wave 5 predictions for the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Course Pass? So, this is a part 2. The part 1 was me cracking down the announcement date for Wave 5. And so if you want to check that out, link is in the description. How am I going to do my Wave 5 prediction? Well, I have 3 options, which is option A, which is going through the index leak, option B, which is my bias take, which is the tracks that I want in Wave 5, of what I want to see, and option C, which is the controversial pick. Not only I'm doing track predictions, but I'm also doing character predictions as well. And if you're wondering why I'm only choosing these specific 5, it's mostly because I did a video where I watched over 50 videos of character predictions to see who is the most predicted character for the Booster Course Pass. So, wonder why I got those 5? There's your answer. And with that, let's get started with option A, with the index leak. So option A, the index leak, that's stated to have a tour, a Wii, GBA, and another tour track. And Jerry Cup, we got a tour, a double dash, an SNES track, and a Nitro course. Okay, so, and of course I have a Wave 6 thing just because, and plus I have 15 tracks. I have 15 tracks that actually go over, and there's some that you might think of like, it's like, Sean, like you're crazy for adding this in there. There's no way. I'm like, well, like, we're just gonna talk about it. So Tour Feather Cup, like, obviously that is going to be where is it, Athens Dash. Okay, Athens Dash makes a lot of sense. It's the first city track that got released for this year for Tour. I'm not gonna be surprised if it shows up in Feather Cup, even though, like, if you look at the starting gate of Athens Dash, it literally has the same colors as the Feather Cup. Yeah, most likely we're gonna see Athens Dash. So we obviously Koopa Cape. Koopa Cape, it's literally, you know, one of the few Wii tracks that, you know, we have left. Even though last track of Wave 6 obviously is gonna be Rainbow Road, and so the runner-up, it's Koopa Cape for obvious reasons. And so, because Koopa Cape got leaked during the banner leak, so it makes a lot of sense. And of course, like, what other track that got leaked the most is none other than Sunset Wilds. Okay, Sunset Wilds, not only that it got the banner leak, but also the music leak as well that happened from Wave 2 to Wave 3. We know that this one is coming. It will be a shocker if, like, Luigi Circuit, Peach Circuit, or, like, you know, any of the Game Boy tracks that got announced for Tour this year to show up in this Booster Course Pass. You can't dethrone the king, man. You can't dethrone Sunset Wilds. I'm sorry. It's a stay. So the next one is a toss-up between, like, either Spain or Rio. Okay, so I'm hearing, like, those 2 city tracks the most of, you know, potentially come to Tour. So and, you know, I've been hearing a lot of Rio for Wave 5, and I've been hearing a lot of Spain for Wave 5, but I'm just gonna I'm gonna stick with Spain. I'm gonna stick with Spain in this one, even though, like, we haven't had another city track that is announced yet, and plus, like, we don't have a city track that's been announced in 8 Deluxe before Tour, so it's gonna be a little weird. Next is the Cherry Cup, and obviously Los Angeles. I think Los Angeles Labs has to show up in Wave 5, as it was shafted from Wave 4, replaced by Bangkok Rush. Bangkok Rush was supposed to be for Wave 5. It's a must. Okay, that is one of the you know, it got the Waluigi Stadium treatment. So Double Dash, a lot of people were tossing up between these 2 tracks, which is Mushroom Bridge and Daisy Cruiser. And, you know, Mushroom Bridge is the, you know, new hot retro. It came out this year, and you know, has all the cars came back, which is nice, and the bridge, which is awesome. I still think it's Daisy Cruiser, and the reason why I think that is because, like, look, you go to the carnival, okay, you go, like, when is the best time to go on a cruise? All right, and so he said on the other side of the world, most Mediterranean cruises sail in the summer months. Not, I'm saying Daisy Cruiser is a Mediterranean cruise, so when you can enjoy sun and sand in coastal cities and sit at the outdoor cafe in Cobblestone Street, if you're most interested in the beach, then keep in mind that Daisy Cruiser was in Peach Beach, and the fact that it's around the beach area, July and August may be your best bets. And guess what? Wave 5 could potentially be out between July and August. So of course, yeah, like obviously Daisy Cruiser gotta stay. It gotta stay. And I wouldn't be surprised if Mushroom Bridge takes that spot. Next up is Bowser's Castle. Obviously Bowser's Castle, and there's a whole heat debate between Bowser's Castle and Vanilla Lake, but at the same time, once we saw the remastered version of Bowser's Castle 3 from SNES, it was a done set deal. Like, it was literally, that's literally a booster course pass deal. Okay, Vanilla Lake, like, look, if they add Vanilla Lake, they better transform it as like another Grumble Volcano type track, whereas Vanilla Lake kind of shifts around to become Vanilla Lake 1 to 2, and then have like a little remix variation with all the geysers and stuff. I mean, I think that would be kind of cool for Vanilla Lake, but we do not have a retro Bowser Castle at all for Mario Kart 8. 8's Bowser Castle is the only one that is in the game. And so what other Bowser Castle to actually put in the game is none other than SNES's Bowser's Castle 3, which makes a lot of sense. And plus, like, the elevation too, like one of the SNES tracks that actually has a bunch of weird slopes and everything. Yeah, this track is a must. And so for our Nitro track, now this one's a little interesting. So Piranha Plant Cove, obviously, you know, been released this year, and we know of its existence, and has all 3 variants that is already out and already been played. So that's actually like a must. That's actually like, you know, one of the go-tos. But there's also, you know, Bathroom, and also the Mob DK track. If you're wondering what this picture is for Mob DK, it's literally the diagram from the Mario movie. And so I saw like the DK Island right next to the Desert Kingdom. So I was like, you know what? That's perfect, because it can go either way. Those 3 Nitros makes a lot of sense for summertime, but which one could possibly show up? Now I thought the Bathroom track was gonna show up in the next tour, but it's actually Mob DK, because there is a bit of bumps for desert tracks. Okay, there's a bit of bumps for desert tracks for the next upcoming tour after the Mario vs. Luigi. So I still tossed up between either Plant Cove or Mob DK. And you kind of look at this, like, it, you know, it doesn't look that bad. It doesn't look that bad. Depends on what the track is for Mob DK. Is it a desert or is it a jungle? But I feel like, you know, it's probably gonna be, and I'm gonna shift it down to Mob DK to Wave 6, is Piranha Plant Cove. I feel like Piranha Plant Cove makes a lot of sense, just because you look at Wave 1 and Wave 3, right? Wave 1 has Ninja Hideaway, and Wave 3 has Merry Mountain. And the thing about this, the funny coincidence, is that they're odd number raves, and those are Nitro tracks that's already been in tour first and known about for years, okay, before 8 Deluxe. And then with Wave 2 and Wave 4 with Sky High Sunday and Yoshi's Island, those are debuted in 8 Deluxe like first, and then, like, you know, bought into like toured and stuff, right? And I feel like Wave 5 could be the same boat as Wave 1 and Wave 3, and just like, yo, here's Piranha Plant Cove, and then here's like the other like new tracks for Wave 6 and stuff, like Mob DK, the Bathroom track, right? And, you know, and possibly like Mushroom Bridge as well in Rio. But again, like, you have like, you know, and also like Vanilla Lake, but Vancouver, like, I know I have Vancouver, but like, Vancouver is a Wave 6 track. I've heard some people that says like, oh, you know, they could just have this, right? They could have Vancouver Velocity in Wave 5, but there's a thing with Vancouver Velocity that you gotta pinpoint the details. It's a winter track, but also a fall track, as you can tell by the trees in that track. And with that, like, it just screams a Wave 6 city track. All right, the characters. All right, Diddy Kong has to show up. He has to show up. He's he's the number one. He's the number one most protected character. Makes a lot of sense as the next character. And honestly, like, I wouldn't be surprised because this man got his own Hot Wheels. Birdo doesn't, so he has to show up. And of course, with Piranha Plant Cove in the rave, you gotta put in PD. You have to put in PD Piranha to show up in Plant Cove. It makes a lot of sense since there is a lot of PD references. Like, you see PD heads, that's the statues right there. Like, dude, come on. It's a done set deal. And I will be super ecstatic if that actually happened. But again, like, anything can happen from the index leak. You know, it could change up from, like, you know, Plant Cove to Bathroom Track. And then we could possibly see Pauline, right, as a veteran and a quote-unquote new character, even though she's from Tour. And of course, like, we have like Mob DK as well, which again, like, that's something to actually look at. And plus, like, we could see Kamek as well, like, we could. But all in all, I still think Diddy Kong will be the Wave 5 character. I'm thinking it might be Mob DK, and Bathroom Track is gonna be Wave 6. So I still think that's gonna be that, and I feel like Diddy Kong and Kamek could be the partner duo. Now we're gonna get into option B, which is my bias take. Now my bias take, obviously, I changed up a little bit. So we have 2 Double Dash tracks. Yes, 2 Double Dash tracks, taking out Sunset Wilds, because Sunset Wilds is gonna be in Wave 6. Okay, so the Tour track, obviously, I still think, you know, Athens Dash could show up, right? And also, what is it? Mushroom Bridge, yeah, like Mushroom Bridge, my Double Dash track for the Feather Cup. The Wii, obviously, we gotta get Cooper Cape. Even though, like, yeah, I have Daisy Circuit. Why do you have Daisy Circuit? Well, here's the thing. Like, I would just be like this. I'm like, yo, this is my bias take. I want Daisy Circuit, but at the same time, I feel like Daisy Circuit is not Wave 6, but potentially a Booster Course Pass 2 track. Okay, just keep in mind, there's a lot of retros for Mario Kart Tour, and that's like a discussion for a different video. So, still, like, Daisy Circuit, like, that could be a wild card, okay? That could be a wild card track for Wave 5, but I just couldn't see it. But that's why, like, I have this there, just because what happens if it's in Wave 6 or if it's a Booster Course Pass 2 potential. So moving on to our next tour track, obviously Wheel Brazil. I want to see how they did it with this cell and see how it plays, because, like, look, you see this right here around the Jesus statue. It would be cool if this is a gliding session and you just glide over the city. That would be bonkers. So the next one, obviously, Los Angeles laps. Okay, like, look, I put in the Cherry Cup again because, bro, it fits so well. And also Daisy Cruiser as well, and my Bowser's Castle 3, we want that, and Plant Cove. It's the same scenario. It's the same scenario for Cherry Cup, but very different from the Feather Cup. Okay, so because, like, Sunset Wilds was supposed to be there, but this is my bias take. And this is what I think. Okay, because, like, one, I want my Plant Cove, I want my Bowser's Castle, and I want my Daisy Cruiser. Obviously, Diddy Kong and PD Piranha. There you go. That's my go-to. That's my go-to. Sunset Wilds can stay in Wave 6. Vancouver stays in there. That stays in there. This one's out. This and this. And yeah. And you got your raves. And you got your raves right there. And so you got the rest of these characters. Wave 6 done. All right, easy. Now we're gonna go to option C, which is the controversial take. So this is when things are a little wild. Okay, not only I have 2 Double Dash tracks, but I took out a city track in favor for another Nitro track. So this is a first. Okay, so Wave 6 was about to have, like, look, Wave 6 was about to have 3 Nitro tracks. So 3 Nitros and 2 tour tracks, which is a lot of tour tracks. Okay, and so what would be funny if we actually get 2 Nitro courses, right, for Wave 5 potentially. But let's go off of this. So Feather Cup, like, you know, Athens Dash. Okay, like, look, Athens Dash, Mushroom Bridge, duplicate. We're good. But the nitro track, I think it's gonna be Mob DK. I think Mob DK might fit the bill for this one. All because of what I mentioned before about the desert tracks might bump up. It could potentially be this track. Now, it could be the bathroom track. It could be. But if I really have to go with my gut, I think Mob DK. Even though the bathroom track really fits super well for the summertime. So, tour, you already know, Los Angeles, GBA, that's where Sunset Wilds come in. And then Daisy Cruiser. And we're going to get Plant Cove. All right, so that's where Plant Cove is going to come in. Or the bathroom track. This is actually pretty wild. Okay, so this one's like a wild take. This is super wild. Because like, what if, like, you know, after a Nitro tour, we're getting another Nitro tour, but we gotta know about a new city at some point if there is gonna have 3 cities for Wave 5, which, you know, most likely it might be. So again, like, we're gonna have a Nitro that we know that is in tour, and then another Nitro that hasn't been in tour already. And also, like, they're not even in tour as well. So look, if I really want to switch it off, I feel like the bathroom track might be good for Wave 6 and just have Plant Cove as the final ender for Cherry Cup. So this is what it is for my controversial take. So we have Athens Dash, Mushroom Bridge, Duplicate, Mob DK, Los Angeles Laps, Sunset Wilds, Daisy Cruiser, and Plant Cove. That's my controversial take. And of course, the characters can stay the same. You know, that the characters, you know, it could swap it either, like, you know, Diddy Kong and Petey Piranha. And if it's like the bathroom track, okay, if it's the bathroom track, then I could see Pauline being there. So, and then of course I have like, you know, Plant Cove, like Spain, Bowser's Castle 3, Vancouver, Rio, right? And especially with Bowser's Castle 3, where if it's shifted to Wave 6, you could have the Bowser Castle to Rainbow Road combo. And also another feature for Booster Course Pass is the Kart. What better kart for Diddy Kong is the barrel train coming back. And I think that will be the perfect kart to bring back once Diddy Kong shows up. And if Diddy Kong doesn't show up with the barrel train, Nintendo, what's wrong with you? I'm just saying, it'll be a perfect fit. So those are my Wave 5 predictions from option A, which is from the Index leak, option B, which is my biased take, and option C, which is the controversial take. And plus, what is your Wave 5 prediction? And what tracks and characters do you want to see, and what you're predicting the most for this wave specifically? So until then, I'll see you guys in the future. My schools, peace out. You have a good one. Bye.